up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side, going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Brad Rucker for the touchdown. Kraft shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Off and roll here on a Tuesday. I'm Brandon Beam, hanging out with my guy Dane Sanzenbacher. And, of course, we got Reimer behind the glass for the first time in like 2.5 months. Hello. Yeah, it's weird to hear you. I almost said Nate Dogg. Nate's not here. He'll be back with us tomorrow, though. Dane, happy Tuesday, buddy. What's happening?
You know, not a lot. Thanks for having me. This is our first Buckeye show together.
This is our first Buckeye show together. I think this is the first time we've technically ever worked together.
It is. We're going to get to know each other live on air. It's like going to be a little reality show. This will be fun.
It'll be a great time. You were trunk slamming today coming from a meeting, too. So you are just all kinds of inspired by sports today.
Trunk slamming?
Yeah, you never heard that?
No.
Are you a big golfer? Are you a golf guy?
Yeah, I golf.
Okay. You never heard the term trunk slam? That's when you're just flying in. Like, let's say you got like a 9 a.m. tee time. Maybe the baby's made a mess right before you had to leave. You leave about 15, 20 minutes later than you were supposed to. And then you get to the golf course, you grab your sticks, and you just slam the trunk, go to the first tee.
Oh, I'm a trunk slammer then. Yeah. In a lot of it, yeah. In a lot of areas, I'm a trunk slammer.
I would always thought you would be pragmatic and like a 30 minutes early is a late kind of guy.
Dude, I'm being stereotyped again already. You sound like NFL scouts. Don't assume. Beamer,
you know what happens when you assume?
Yeah, don't assume. No, I almost text you. I was in the parking lot. So this happens. Like if I show up, if I walk in 10 minutes before, if it's like Timmy's show or somebody, they assume like I was screeching into the lot. I was out there. Yeah. I was just taking my last like me time before I have to have an us time.
Yes, that is true.
I was trying to get my energy together for the people.
The me time is very important, especially on a drive-in. Yeah. I drive into work. That's the me time that I have. I don't even take 3:15 because I know that it would make me so mad every day and getting gridlocked on that. So I take like Broad and then I get on Olentangy, which may not be a better alternate for traffic, but it gives me a little more time to know what's happening in front of me, listen to some tunes, kind of zone in before I get locked in and ready to go.
Yeah, it's the speed too. You get to go. If it's not a highway, I think it's better. It's a little even if you're stuck in traffic, yeah, it's like I'm not going 60, 70. That's too much for my brain to relax.
I'm going anywhere from between 30 and 40, on the drive in. It's good. And even if I have to screech and stop to like 15 miles an hour, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's all good. Woosah, grab the ears. You're going to be good. We got a great show lined up for you here this evening. It is Big Ten Media Days out in Vegas. So we're going to get to some of the Tony Petitti stuff, the commissioner of the Big Ten, here in just a second. Ryan Day, he actually talked to Austin and Birm a little bit before he took to the podium in Vegas. You'll hear from him at 6:17. Your guest for this evening, Joshua Perry. He's going to join us at 6:30. And then maybe, just maybe, Birm is going to join us live from Vegas. I need to text him at 7 o'clock to confirm with him, but I think he will be good to go. So 7:30, and then we'll hear more from Ryan Day in the 7 o'clock hour as well. Your guy, Dane, Tony Petitti, he took to the podium. And the reason I say Dane's guy is because when we were having our little pre-show meeting, you said, all right, Big Ten Media Days. Did Tony Petitti say anything interesting? I'm like, he talked about some playoff expansion and all kinds of different stuff. And you said, is this his full-time job? Because you love yourself some Tony Petitti.
No. So I have a casual relationship with what Tony Petitti is doing. I try not to spend too much of my time with him.
I think it's good for your mental health.
Yeah, but as far as I know of him, it's largely silence on all fronts. And then when we hear from him, it's like he hadn't even considered what was going to be the new format, and that it dawns on him that somebody might use math to figure it out. And he was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's wrong with playing football games? I read that article. I was like, wait, is this guy, he's doing something else, right? Like this is a part-time gig that he's just not giving a lot of attention to.
Well, to your point, we had the interview with Joel Klatt like a month and a half ago where he was talking about college football playoff expansion. I don't really think we've heard from Tony Petitti outside of last year's media days, and then you get 30 minutes of him opining about whatever today at the podium, and then a quick little quip about the college football playoff and expansion. But to your point, we do not hear from him a lot. He is not out there.
That's all, and not that I really want to. I'm not a big, Sankey's the other guy, right? He's the SEC guy. Yeah. He's a little bit too much, but if there's nothing to say, fine. But it's like if you're going to fly in now at least the silence maybe made us feel like, oh, he's a behind the scenes guy.
He's pulling some strings.
He's a workhorse. He's not a show horse.
Mm-hmm.
He's out there. He's trying to make something work. And it's like, no, what's all this math stuff they've been doing? Why don't we just have some guys play?
4-4-2-2-1-1, 5-11. They all come out to 16. I guess we'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah, see, but I still like 12.
Yeah.
I think was in there. He's like, I think, but we might stay at 12. Okay.
Which I think would be fine if you want to stay at 12. I think 8 would be the perfect number, honestly, but there's no putting the genie back in that bottle, right? Like, they're not going back. They got TV inventory. You got home games. You got all kinds of different stuff to sell for, I'm sure, multiple millions of dollars per game. Like, there's no way they're going to ever go back to 8 teams, which I think is the perfect number to keep the regular season in college football relevant. Every game matters.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's probably too late. A lot of things he said, too, I don't disagree with. I mean, I think, the more you can keep it out of the hands of just a committee to pick something, I think everybody would tend to think, unless you're in one of those smaller conferences, that's probably the way to do it. That is if, with the caveat, that you're trying to create this perfect bracketed playoff system.
Right.
Which is apparently the way that the NCAA wants to go. I don't think that had to be like an obvious conclusion, but that's clearly where they're at now, with very much a focus on, like, how do we make this the most mirror image of a professional NFL league.
Yeah, 100%. Here was Tony Petitti a little bit earlier today from the podium at Big Ten Media Days out in Vegas, and why the Big Ten plays 9 conference games and why that should mean more.
Each league will decide what they think the best conference schedule is for them. I think in a system where you have allocated spots, I think in talking to our athletics directors and coaches, I don't think we really care how many conference games any league is playing, because you're qualified off your conference standings. That's sort of up to you to run your own league and decide how you want to do it. But when you get to a system that's increasing the at-larges and increasing the work of a selection committee, that's when you need to understand, like, how we're competing in the regular season. Like, look, at the end of the day, it's really simple math. With 18 schools and 9 we're losing 9 more games to start. And so at the end of the day, I think it's really relevant. So will we consider more at-larges? Like, right now, I think the first thing is to really understand what everybody's doing in their conference schedule. But there's a second really critical part, which I mentioned in my remarks, which is what are we doing to get the selection process right? So I think those two things go hand in hand. First is, how many conference games are we playing? And then secondly, what's the selection process going to be? People have talked about improving the committee's work. I believe the committee does a great job with what they have, and I've yet to hear any member tell me that more data will make the job easier. They have a lot of things in front of them. We went through a mock selection, we saw it. And so I just think those two things have to go hand in hand. First is the conference games, but again, if you go back to an allocated system, then I don't think we really care about how many conference games anybody plays.
Yeah, I mean, I know that it's been a big deal this offseason, right? Like, trying to get the SEC and the Big Ten kind of on level footing. What he was speaking about there, we've got 18 teams, which means that we have 9 more losses automatically just because we play 9 conference games and the SEC only plays 8. But at the same time, when you're talking about expansion and doing what's best for the conference, like, I know he's not trying to strong-arm the SEC into getting to 9 games, but ultimately, in an ideal world, I think that's exactly what you want. Either the Big Ten drops to 8 and abandons the 9 games, or that the SEC comes up to 9.
Yeah, one's got to happen, right?
Yeah, one has to happen.
Well, or, I mean, I don't know. To me, when we get to a certain point with this, and I'm sure this will be 2 hours of us unpacking this, does anybody really care? Who cares?
No, I know. There's like 5 teams that can win a national championship
that's
every year.
I just like these people. It's almost like it's just soccer, Greg. You know, it's like, chill out, Patiti. Like, dude,
great poll, great line.
This has been like
out, Greg.
one of the most popular sports in America for how many years, and it's been unfair. Like, Northwestern and Ohio State play every year, still sells out the shoe. Like, this idea that all these adults in their suits are getting in the rooms and trying to make it fair and work has never been why college sports were popular in the first place. Make it however many games you want. They play 9, we'll play 8, and we'll wear alternating jerseys. Who cares? Half of these games are for wooden turtles. Like,
hey, don't you disparage the Yellow Buck. It's a great trophy with terrific history.
I'm just saying, there's more to it that I'm almost exhausted on what they're going to decide to do. I don't think it's the core of what makes the sport cool.
It's not. The core of what makes the sport cool is that it's hyper localized, and you get to, whether you're here in Central Ohio or you're anywhere listening that you have some tie to the university that you grew up loving.
That's
right?
it.
At the end of the day, like, it's not that hard.
No, we've got there's going to be on and on of, well, we need to consider this and they need this, but then there's this. They even have terms now. What was he using a term for, like this allocated program? Like,
I don't even know what that means.
Just stop.
I don't know what that means, Mr. Petitti.
Just Mr. Petitti. Can we just not? It's just college football, man.
It's not that hard.
It's not that hard. We're here to see a band. They're going to dot the I in a second, Greg.
God,
get
that's
out of my face.
That's going to be one of the coolest things ever, too.
Yeah, let's do that. Figure out your math somewhere else.
I just want to see another large human being rip another dude's head off.
I know. In the spirit of, like, college kids, like, what a nerd.
Yeah.
All right, Patiti.
Get out of here. On the good news.
I'm sure he's a good and capable guy. I'm just like, man.
He's a baseball guy. That's where he came from. He was very Rob Manfred in his press conference today. On a brighter news, Ryan Day, he joined Austin and Birm earlier today from Vegas, and he talked about the focus and the goals of the 2025 squad. You're going to hear from him coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Got a teen athlete? Then you know putting in the hours is all part of the game. But did you know the same goes for learning how to drive? Because just like playing a sport, learning to drive takes practice. The only difference is the stakes are even higher. 50 hours of practice time driving with you? Worth every minute. Gear up at teachyourteentodrive.ohio.gov.
Summer is in full swing. If you think you're hot, well, so are your trees. You can help your trees by watering them, especially if they're newly planted. During the hot, dry summer months, your trees could use a water boost. Watering new trees a few times a week will help them survive while they're developing their root system, so don't forget about them. To find out more about watering trees, or to find a certified arborist near you, go to treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
Health insurance companies are expected to carry health benefits, but CareSource does so much more. We look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals to see the challenges that face our members. Then we help them achieve not just better health, but better lives. Along with great benefits, we also help our members find stable jobs, housing, childcare, and rides so they can find greater independence. At CareSource, we're removing barriers, we're improving lives, we're reimagining healthcare.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com. As America's largest custom home builder, Schumacher Homes believes a top-quality home should be affordable for everyone in the Buckeye State. We work with the leading architects to bring you the latest in design, and then you have the ability to make changes. Not just selecting finishes, but moving walls, adding rooms, literally customizing anything from the ground up. It's a misconception that custom homes have to be expensive. We work within your budget to build an amazing home on your land. Visit SchumacherHomes.com or any of our 9 Ohio locations.
The Donato's $5 Pizza Pals menu is adding some pals. Donato's savory and delicious family recipe meatballs are now on the Pizza Pals menus, along with new Oreo twists. Sweet, delicious pull-apart twists with real Oreo cookie pieces drizzled with vanilla icing. You can order unlimited $5 Pizza Pals with any large pizza. So order today and load up on all the Pizza Pals you want. Donato's, gotta love more.
Join Timmy Hall for Buckeye Replay this Saturday at 1. Look back at classic games in Ohio State football history.
Sponsored by Weber Grills.
This week, Ohio State and Oregon for the title. Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
We've got a story about a little bean doing big things. Soybeans are used in creative ways you may have never realized to make products we use every day. And Ohio's farmers are growing some of the world's best soybeans. By using and eating soy-based products, you make a positive impact locally and globally. Say hey to the largest ag export in the U.S. Learn more about soybeans at soysecrets.org. This ad brought to you by Ohio soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Experience the ultimate gridiron experience at the Ohio State Football Training Camp, presented by Safe Flight, Bob's Discount Furniture, and Weber, happening at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center July 31st through August 2nd. Don't miss your chance to get the first look at your Ohio State football team. Bring your friends and family and dive into the excitement with inflatables, giveaways, and more. Tickets are limited, so get yours today to ensure you don't miss out on the fun. Visit universe.com/OSU Training Camp 2025 to purchase your tickets today.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated. Because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life. And fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Fair skies, light winds, low humidity, and a perfect finish on this Tuesday with temperatures around 80 degrees, down to around 60 by Wednesday morning with light winds and a clear start. Plenty of sunshine during the day and a rapid warm-up to near 90 by Wednesday afternoon. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
It's time for your daily dose of vitamin B. B stands for Buckeyes, just in case that wasn't clear. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Hanging out with my guy, Dane Sanzenbacher. Addendum to the schedule. We were supposed to have Joshua Perry on at 6:30 and Burm on at 7:30. These guys have switched.
But Reimer accidentally called the wrong Joshua Perry in his phone.
Because he didn't have his number and was asking me which number's his, and then I had to tell him. So Burm is going to join us live from Vegas coming up at 6:30. Joshua Perry, in his ever so kindness in his heart, has decided that, you know what, if Burm wants to come on at 6:30, I'll move back to 7:30. So Joshua Perry and Burm are swapping.
Gentleman and a professional, that one.
Absolutely. I wish I could just have them on a group chat together and we could have ironed it out, but I had texts flying back and forth. So Burm at 6:30, Joshua Perry at 7:30. That's what's going to happen. Where are you at right now, Dane? What was your feeling when you got a week out of training camp? What was the feeling in your gut? Because Ohio State starts fall camp here in 9 days' time over at the Woody. Next Thursday is the first day of camp. I want you to kind of recall that. Where were you at, mental space, getting out of summer camp? And I know these guys are a lot more involved now with some of the coaches and like the summer camps that they're allowed to do. But what were you feeling mentally getting ready to go into the season, knowing that it was going to be a grind at this point?
It is, it gets to be it's kind of a dark place. I don't know. Maybe there's probably like 5 to 10% of players that are just like football dudes. Mm-hmm. They might truly look forward to training camp because, like, heck yeah, man.
364 more days till next hockey season.
Like, what's the guy from Remember the Titans? Somebody said football and I came running.
Yeah. Is it Gary Bertier?
No, Gary was the linebacker. It was like the big lineman.
I don't remember his name.
Anyway, but he would probably be excited for training camp.
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah, it's tough physically for sure. I think they've done a good job of tuning that back. There's like not 2 days. I think even more than ever, they take hints from the NFL at this level now. So it's like caring for the bodies. But I mean, mentally, it's I don't know. It's a mix of exciting because, okay, this matters. Mm-hmm. And anxiety of like, what? Okay.
A lot of that.
We're going to be in a hotel. It's really time. Like you probably talked to your family last, like that. Your personal life gets turned way down and football focus goes way up.
That becomes your life.
Yeah. But I think it's probably, now that you're making me relive it, I think it's probably more.
I didn't mean to. We don't have to if you don't want to.
I'm freaking out, man.
Boys like Mexico?
Hey, we're going to get one and only a few people are going to catch them. Yeah, I think it was probably more exciting though than anything, just because especially at this level, like when you're at the college level, when you typically only had 4 years, like each one of those was like its own little, like you view it, you're in a different place in your career.
Mm-hmm.
So what your freshman camp feels like different than going into like your sophomore camp.
Sure.
A lot of these guys now too, it's every year is a different for the individual. For the team, for the coaches, it's probably similar, maybe a little different. You won a national championship last year. How do I keep guys motivated?
Mm-hmm.
But for the guys that were juniors last year and are seniors now, it's when you're going into your last camp and then you're a senior and then like this is your team. It's felt like that in the summer, but this is like now truly it's like, okay, this is my last thing. And now forever on, this is going to be what happened my senior year.
Yeah.
It like has that
it's very kind of a daunting thing to think about.
Yeah. Yeah. It's similar to like, not too dissimilar to the high school level when you're like a senior.
Mm-hmm. Feel like it's your team.
Yeah, this is it. This is your team. This is like okay, how are we going to do this? So coaches say it all the time. Teams do truly have completely different identities every year.
Yeah.
It's almost never the same in college. NFL, maybe if you retain enough guys, you can keep it there. But I can remember distinctly each year as like it feeling like a different team, even though there was a lot of overlapping players, but it was always had a different feel to it. And it's probably because who your seniors were.
It's usually I think coaches, and I don't know if they've openly said this, but like a living, breathing organism, right? Every different team needs to be pushed in certain directions or maybe pulled in certain directions, and you need to be able to coach them up. I was listening to Austin and Birm. They sat down with Ryan Day over at Big Ten Media Days in Vegas. And here, I don't know if you caught Scotty Scheffler's press conference earlier last week before he won the Open Championship, just talking about like, hey, it's a great feeling like after you win a major, but then all of a sudden I'm on to the next thing. Here was Ryan Day kind of talking about that after winning the national championship with these guys.
I think the thing that resonated with me the most was, you work your entire life to get to a certain point, win a national championship, and you have this vision of what it's going to look like. What you don't really envision is kind of like the next day and the next week of like the fact that like it literally is just what's next. I was just watching an interview the other day, an older interview about somebody was talking about how the Thunder just won the NBA Finals, and the next sentence they were talking about the NBA draft. It's just, life goes on. And so I think the thing that resonated with me in terms of like his mindset was though, like there has to be a bigger purpose personally. And so winning is something you have to do at Ohio State. If you don't win, they're going to find a new coach. If you don't win championships, eventually they're going to find a new coach. They're going to find new players. So it's our responsibility to make sure that we're reaching that standard. But winning just allows us to continue to do what we love, and that's have an impact on young people.
Yeah.
And that has got to be the focus, because at the end, no one's going to talk about the trophies and the championships. They're going to talk about the impact you leave behind and the legacy that you're leaving behind with these young people. And I think the biggest compliment I get is when people come up to me, they talk to me about the type of people that we have. Coaches, staff, but obviously the players.
Yeah, and this team, Dane, and the incredible young men that are in this program right now, like they're all world-class human beings. Like you look up and down this roster, and I got to know, Sonny and his brother Lorenzo Stiles, and they do the sleep out every year to have awareness for youth homelessness around Columbus. And, those are just two of the guys on the team, and Caleb's got his own thing going, and Jeremiah's got his own thing, and really down the list. But there is something to be said about, winning the national championship, and then you are right back into it. Like, there is no respite. You watch the confetti fall. You crash a golf cart the night of the national championship game. You're on the Today Show the next morning, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, which transfers are you going to get in? The D-line's going to be a problem. Your defensive coordinator leaves. Where are you looking at? Where are you going? Because you're immediately on to the next thing. And it's not only that way here at Ohio State. Like Ryan Day was mentioning, hey, the NBA draft's coming up for the Thunder. Scotty Scheffler just won the Open Championship. Oh, he's got a chance to win a career Grand Slam at Shinnecock Hills for the U.S. Open. Like, sometimes we need to take a deep breath and relax a little bit and enjoy the moment a little more.
Yeah, I mean, all of that is very true. It's always nice to have the championship, or to get to understand that yourself. Because, there's plenty of people out there like, yeah, great. I'd like to win a national championship, though. That's great. They tell me how, and Scotty Scheffler, like, sure, I'd love to win like 8 majors and be there. But you hear it time and time again. Actually, let's do our third movie reference.
Yeah.
Friday Night Lights.
Mm-hmm.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
When they're in the car, they're driving around, and the quarterback is like, Coach, you ever feel like you're just cursed? Like, there's nothing you can.
I don't believe in
do.
curses.
I don't believe in curses. He's like, yeah, and in that same dialogue, he said, winning, losing, it's really about the same. The only thing that's different is how people treat you.
Yeah.
Billy Bob's been dropping knowledge since that came out in the early 2000s. Nobody was paying attention. Wake up, Scotty. We've been trying to tell you. But yeah, that's it.
Then you got your dad kicking out the window, throwing his high school championship ring.
Yeah. Well, that's why if you're at this level, and I think maybe you just come around to that. But I think at a certain point, everybody realized, like, you better love this. Like, you better like it for the work and not for the payoff. Because I bet you asked a bunch of guys that won Super Bowls, if you make it just about the goal and you reach the goal, yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Well, what's next? Okay, but could you win this one? I think that's the whole. I think athletes have been battling that part of it. That's kind of the drawback, or even the challenge of success. Which Ohio State, you don't have many options. It's either have this challenge of success, or, like he said, this isn't the place for you.
Right. And I feel like he's built for that, right? And it does lift an inherent pressure off. And I do feel like we're going to see not an entirely different Coach Ryan Day, but it has to lift some of the pressure off, and now you're free. Not that you're playing with house money by any standard, but you got the monkey off your back. You won a national championship. You're only one of 3 coaches to do so, active in college football right now. And now it's like, all right, well, we can do this again. We already did it. We did it last year.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I think that's a tough part about this job, man. It's like the pressure is not going to go away. The questions of what's next are not going to go away. What about Michigan is not going to go away. It does. It's just going. But that's why I think they're benefited by having a crew that's been together for so long, and they've been able to retain this. Like, what year is this for Coach Day?
It's 9. And then 7 as the head coach.
Yeah.
9 total.
9 years been here, 7 years as the head coach. I love when coaches get to that point where they can turn the corner and start saying things like that. Yeah. You have to win a national championship to do it. But when you can start saying, like, okay, you can just hear it in his voice even, like, okay, we won it, but here's what's important. Like, we want to do this. But you kind of see the big picture. We've reached our mountain. Okay, we want to get back there, but now it becomes, how do we do it?
Yeah, what's the process, right?
How do we do it? And it matters how we do it.
Birm, he's going to join us live from Vegas coming up in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Common Man here for Germain Lexus of Dublin and Easton. My guys at Germain are celebrating their biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. Tons of vehicles on the lot for you to choose from, and they're ready to deal. It's also the Lexus Golden Opportunity sales event with rates as low as 2.99%. I was riding in my Lexus on one of our hot summer days, and I felt the crisp breeze of cold air on my cracky. Don't you want that for yourself? Of course you do. Germain Lexus, 2 locations to serve you, Dublin and Easton, GermainLexus.com.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing, 614-NEW-ROOF, NewmanRoofing.com.
Nationwide Picnic with the Pops presents the pride of the Buckeyes, the Ohio State University Marching Band. Don your scarlet and gray and join the Columbus Symphony Orchestra for a night of fight songs, battle cries, fireworks, and more. July 25th and 26th at the Columbus Commons. Visit picnicwiththepops.com.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium, presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a Buckeye, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce. And jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The only radio show that bleeds scarlet and gray. This is the Buckeye Show.
Our guy Dane Sanzenbacher in tonight. Right now we're heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Check it with our guy. He is in Las Vegas. He is at Big Ten Media Days. He is Jeremy Birmingham. Birm, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. 3:30 there. Are you done at the convention center, or is it happy hour for you right now?
Oh no, we're in the middle right now of the 3 Ohio State players and their 30-minute breakout sessions. So Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith are all getting peppered with questions from the gathered media and trying to get their way through it.
What's your biggest question for any of those 3 guys? I'm sure you've already asked them, and it's going to be up on the stream soon.
Yeah, I really am just interested from Sonny and Caleb's perspective how different the Matt Patricia defense might be for them. 2 guys who obviously played a lot of football and know a lot of football, but how does this defense look different? And, of course, I mean, I asked them and neither one of them would say anything of note, but they, as I fully expected. But, Ryan Day mentioned during his session earlier in the day that he really wants this to be the Ohio State defense. It's not the Matt Patricia defense, but it's the Ohio State defense. And it's kind of a departure from what he's done over the last few years because he's always said that about the offense. But clearly what they built with Jim Knowles, I think they'd like to keep that going as much as they can with a tweak here or there for what Matt Patricia wants to do. But Caleb did say that he expects to play a lot of the same spots he played last year and be multiple and play in the box, and because he thinks that's what's best for the defense. So we'll see.
Hey, Burm, I'm sure a question that's coming up a lot, or at least being discussed a lot, is you guys are coming off a national championship. Hard to repeat. It has to feel different. I can imagine what the stock lines are of like, hey, well, it's a brand new season, brand new team. Has anybody given any kind of interesting insight into that of like what feels different about this year now coming off the heels of a national championship?
I think the interesting thing, Dane, is that last year's team was so veteran that if you didn't win a national championship, there was a problem. Like you knew what you had in front of you. And Ryan Day, he sat down with Austin and myself earlier in the day, and that video is on the 97.1 The Fan YouTube channel.
We were just playing some of that sound, Birm.
Yeah, and I asked him, I said, what is the motto for this year? And he just said, basically, grow up. Like, that's the motto. So grow up, because there's no time at Ohio State to make excuses and say, oh, well, we're young, so that's okay if we lose games. Like, that doesn't happen in Columbus. So that really was reinforced in the sit-down we had with Sonny Styles as well. That is the motto. That's the message this summer, that last year was great, but it doesn't matter. So everyone who's a part of this year's team needs to grow up and do it quick.
We got Birm with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. He is live out in Vegas. You can catch all their things on the YouTube channel. Just type in 97.1 The Fan, Austin and Birm. They'll get you covered with all kinds of coverage out there here this week. What did you make of Tony Petitti's presser today and him figuring out math live on the fly there, Birm?
I was going into today's Tony Petitti podium session expecting to be annoyed by him. But I wasn't. I actually thought he made a lot of valid points. I thought he made a lot of sense in a lot of ways. I understand what he's doing and posturing for the Big Ten. I do think that as a league, they're a little bit on their own at the moment because the SEC and the ACC and everyone else seems to be coalescing around the idea of no automatic qualifiers. And because the SEC believes, I think, and probably rightfully so, that if you limit them to 4, which I don't think that's really what people want, it has to be at least 4. Tony Petitti has said, hey, the Big Ten is a different league. There's 18 teams. They play 9 games. As long as you have I don't agree that he said if you have a 6-3 record in the Big Ten, or if you have an 8-4 record overall, that you should be in the playoff. I vehemently disagree with that. But I thought he made a lot of good points. I understand where he's coming from, but they're going to have to reach a consensus between the Big Ten and the SEC before they can really move forward. And the problem with that, guys, is that like the ACC isn't just going to sit there and say, okay, well, the Big Ten and the SEC told us what to do, so they're our daddies now. They're not going to. It's not like those guys are just going to sit back and say, okay, well, they're superior to us. Like that's going to be a real tough sell to get them to just buy into that publicly.
Now maybe you can clarify this, and maybe you don't know, but I don't. If they don't come to agreement, then is it just run it back what we did last year, or does something have to change?
Yeah, we sat down actually with Rich Clark, who is the executive director of the College Football Playoff, and we'll have that video later this week. But he essentially said they have until December 1st to. That's the timeline that they've got in mind. That's what they have contractually to make decisions and make changes moving forward. Obviously, not for this year. The only changes we'll see in this year's structure are the straight seeding versus the rearranging the seeds as they did a year ago. So. December 1st is the date. He said that they've had a lot of really good conversations. He said it's a lot like Congress. They go into rooms, they advocate for their constituents, and then they try to figure out what the best path forward is. So I told him, okay, great. So nothing's going to get done because if it's like Congress, we know how that's going to go. So we'll see. But December 1st is the timeline that he told us.
Who's the most interesting person you've run into and or talked to this week so far, Birm?
Oh, man. I don't want to sound...
Don't say us. Don't say us.
Yeah, come on. Thank you.
It's you guys. I mean, no, honestly, we got into town yesterday a little after noon and didn't really do a whole lot. It was nice. We were able to catch up with when Ohio State got here. I think the most interesting thing I saw is that nobody knew or cared who Jeremiah Smith was when he walked through the casino. And that to me is fascinating because he's the most recognizable college football player in America, the best college football player in America, and nobody cared who he was because people are so knee-deep in slot machines.
I mean,
and JJ was grateful for it. He said he was awesome to not be bothered for pictures or autographs or any of that stuff.
Did anybody think of when Tony Petitti announced that media days were going to be in Vegas, that a large majority of these athletes are not 21 yet? Was that a thought that crossed anyone's mind? Because I heard Ryan's presser today, and he was like, I actually had to check Sonny, Caleb, and Jeremiah in because none of them were 21.
I don't think that there was a lot of forethought. I believe that the decision to have this in Las Vegas was not like a long-term plan. I think it came about because of some giant church convention at Lucas Oil Stadium this weekend. So that took up everything that the Big Ten normally did. So it's like a last-minute switcheroo. But honestly, it's been good. I do think it's interesting because, you see the SEC media days and the show they make of it. And we're out here in Vegas, and I'm sure there's more than a handful of Ohio State fans in town, but probably not for this, and I think the Big Ten could do a better job as long as they're going to require us to do this stuff, which I think it's sort of obsolete anyway with the internet. I don't know why we still do in-person media days, but whatever. I think that they could do a better job celebrating it and turning it into like a fan fest, similar to what they did at the national championship game in Atlanta.
Do you think this is going to be, and on this, you kind of already answered it, but on this topic, yeah, we wonder, aside from just giving us some sound bites, us in the media, that is, to talk about, that's kind of a long way to go, especially for the Big Ten. I imagine it's trying to include your West Coast partners. Do you see this as just a bigger picture of the Big Ten as becoming this more of a national thing that we have to consider? Because it just feels like it used to be in Chicago every year, right? And at least that kind of made
Chicago
sense.
And Indy.
Centrally located, it's right there. It's the media day. Vegas
where
seems
the Big Ten office is. It's where the Big Ten
it makes all the sense in the world. Petitti probably just didn't read the booking for Lucas Oil. He was just
you're
like,
right.
Oh man, missed it. Checked it last week.
I do think it came down to something that basic. But no, I mean, the fact is, I mean, the Big Ten is trying to establish itself as the preeminent force in college sports, and they've done a great job with that. Part of that means that you have to celebrate your coast to coast vibe, and I hope that. He mentioned, Tony Petitti did in his podium session, like this is where the Big Ten basketball tournaments are going to be in a couple of years. So like they're clearly trying to lean into this idea that Vegas may be the gateway to the Midwest, I guess, in their perspective, but I'm not sure that they've looked at a map. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Rutgers has to, take 16 flights to get here. It's just weird. Again, guys, like, I don't mean to poo-poo it, but we live in the internet age. You could do the entire team for a media day and schedule it for 2 weeks in July and let every team get a full media day where they get to talk to every player instead of just three guys. But that's just me.
Hey,
I love it.
Before we get you out of here, we usually do On the Trail on Tuesdays. We're going to do a bridged version. Jerquaden Guilford, latest commitment to Ohio State. #1 prospect in the state of Indiana, Burm. I saw you tweet and don't worry about star ratings. This kid's a stud.
Yeah, I mean, he's 6'2", he's 200 pounds, he runs a 4.4, he has the 43 or 44 inch vertical. He's an athletic freak. He's my comparison, and I've had it validated to a degree by some folks in the Woody, is he's like a little bit more twitched up version of Carnell Tate. Maybe not as polished at this point, but he's a really good player. His trainer, Dre Muhammad, is the same guy that trained Mylan Graham, same guy that trained Austin Mack. So very comfortable Ohio State is with him and what he produces and the types of kids that he works with. And Jaquaden, like every other receiver that's come to Ohio State in the last 4 years, chose the Buckeyes because of Brian Hartline, because of the history of wide receivers, and turned down a whole lot more money from someone else. So, I think we get caught up in the star rankings sometimes, but it's nice to celebrate kids who want to be at Ohio State, and I think that is more important than ever in a world where they're turning down 4 or 5x the financial opportunities to go to Ole Miss.
Dane was actually blushing, Birm, because when you were doing the player comp, he thought 100% you were talking about him and not Carnell.
Look, I'm going to be honest with you, Beamer. I am the world's largest Dane Sanzenbacher fan. I'm from Toledo. He played at Central Catholic. His high school football coach was my high school baseball coach.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Dane got his offer. I remember his offer when he got offered by the Buckeyes on the Teddy Ginn bus tour.
These are unsolicited. Love this. Keep going.
I remember these things, okay? Like Dane Sanzenbacher had the single greatest 3 or 4, was it 4 games? 4 games in the state tournament of any football player in Ohio football history in 2007, I think, or 2006. Which year was it, Dane? 2006?
Yeah, that was in 2005.
Yeah,
20 years ago.
I believe me, we celebrated Sanzenbacher in my household growing up.
Unfortunately, just not a lot of comp in the current locker room when it comes to the stat sheet. It's like 6'6".
That's not true.
The only comp here is the amount of stars, because I do think I was like 2 or 3. The good old days when you didn't need 5.
Dane, the kicker is bigger than you were.
That is a good point about kickers.
But it doesn't matter. You can't. It's the size of the heart in the dog. You know what I mean?
I was hoping you'd go there.
Birm, appreciate the time. What are you and Austin getting into tonight? Some shenanigans?
Are you guys going to turn into the very zombies you were talking about at the craps table in the slots?
No, I think there's like this little indoor golf, miniature golf place, like it's for adults. So I think we might check that out. My wife and I are big fans of like 90 Day Fiance and Married at First Sight and all those crappy reality love TV shows. But there's the Five Below bar. It's like an ice bar. It was featured on 90 Day Fiance last week, and then here I am, and I'm right next to it. And I'm like, man, I really should go in there and just have a drink at this bar that's all made out of ice. And
does it include a 90 Day Fiance, like when you walk in or out of there, or is that extra?
No, not. I'm not. I don't know. I didn't pay the entry fee. It's possible. I suppose you never know, but it's a place that looks pretty cool, and that's not a pun I intended to make. I want to be clear. I did not mean to say
that place does sound cool.
Yeah, so I'd like to do that.
I did intend to make that one.
My wife was like, I don't think you should do that with Austin because it might be a little weird.
I think everything you guys do together is weird, but you guys do a fantastic job. But always appreciate the time. Have a fantastic rest of your trip in Vegas. Love the content. You can always watch on the YouTube page. Talk to you later, Birm. See ya.
Thanks, guys. See you.
See ya. There he goes. Birm with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline.
A Toledo man.
Number one Dane Sanzenbacher fan in the whole world.
Gotta love it.
He just said that you will not find anybody in the world that celebrates Sanzenbacher more than
I try to fish for compliments when I can.
Yeah, he did it.
I know Birm's always good to tee him up for a good Toledo connection and give a rundown of my history in high school.
Hey, it's no easy task.
When I was somebody.
Now we're just going to do a deep dive the next hour and 15 minutes of reflection.
And then it went off the rails. When we get back, we'll go through the college
years. Yes, we will. No easy task coming into the Horseshoe and getting a win. That's next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
The meatloaf!
The Fan.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to sponsor the Fan and 10 TV's Beat the Heat fan drive, benefiting Life Care Alliance. You can help Ohio's most vulnerable residents deal with the extreme heat this summer. How can you help? Purchase new box fans and bring them to the nearest Franklin County Fire Station, or you can buy online and ship fans directly to Life Care Alliance. The collection and distribution of fans is to assist residents who are at risk of heat stroke or heat exhaustion. For more information, go to lifecarealliance.org.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University, Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
It's Kubota Orange Days. From America's #1 selling compact tractor to zero-turn mowers and versatile RTVs, get your perfect match delivered to your door. Now through June 30th, get 0 down, 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,500 off BX23S tractors. See the details at KubotaOrangeDays.com.
Visit BuckeyeKubotaDealers.com to find a dealer near you.
Attention Columbus. Town Properties just clinched the title of the largest residential property manager in Columbus, thanks to the Columbus Business Journal. With pride, we oversee 25,000 plus households in the Columbus metro area, ensuring fantastic places to call home. Whether you're on the hunt for an exceptional living space, a top-notch association management company, or a property manager for your multifamily portfolio, visit our website at town.properties.com and let us elevate your living experience. Town Properties, always managing great places to live.
Experience the ultimate gridiron experience at the Ohio State Football Training Camp, presented by Safe Flight, Bob's Discount Furniture, and Weber, happening at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center July 31st through August 2nd. Don't miss your chance to get the first look at your Ohio State football team. Bring your friends and family and dive into the excitement with inflatables, giveaways, and more. Tickets are limited, so get yours today to ensure you don't miss out on the fun. Visit universe.com/OSU Training Camp 2025 to purchase your tickets today.
How many different ways can you consume morning juice? Let's see. Live on YouTube, live on the Fans HD3, podcast on demand, and on 10 TV Plus. And we'll send Bobby right to your house.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
The Fan.
Did you know even the smallest increase in mortgage rates can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your loan? Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. It's true, even a 0.25% change in rate can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your mortgage. But with Third Federal's new Early Rate Lock, you don't have to take chances. Early Rate Lock is the only pre-approval that locks in your rate at pre-approval, even before you find a house. Plus, we're so confident that our rates are the lowest, if you find a lower rate, we'll beat it or give you $1,000. And for a limited time, get pre-approved with Third Federal and we'll pay all of your closing costs. So don't wait. Call Third Federal today.
Right now at Third Federal, even before you find a home, lock in 6.49%, APR 6.52% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-THIRD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. Zero closing costs on low-cost loans only. See conditions for lowest rate guarantee at thirdfederal.com. Equal housing lender.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
We're very close to Buckeye football. Very close. Uncomfortably close. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
Hey, friends, dropping just 25 pounds with Awaken 180 can give you 10 extra degrees of golf swing rotation. How about that? It's about a half a club longer, 6 to 10 extra yards every swing. But from experience, to lose 75 pounds like I did, we're talking next level distance, consistency, and even mood. Every pound you drop actually takes 4 pounds of pressure off your knees. So I lost 300 pounds of pressure off of mine. Take strokes off your game by taking pounds off your frame with Awaken180weightloss.com. How's your golf game feeling, all right?
It's okay. Actually, it's better than it should be, and I'm in a place where I've played a lot less, so maybe my expectations are a lot less. I'm actually playing pretty well.
Nice. It's a good place to be in.
It's just scrambles, though, so you don't really get exposed. I haven't played my own ball in a year and a half.
Yeah, you play your own ball, and all of a sudden you hit 2 into the woods. You're like,
oh wait, I am bad.
Yeah.
I am bad at golf. I
Scramble,
forgot.
you pump 2 in the woods. Who cares?
No,
I got someone else to save me.
Somebody had a safe one.
Yeah, that's
there.
good. And then I was really trying to rip it.
Yeah, but no, it's okay. I'm in a healthy relationship with golf right now.
Yeah, that's nice. Reimer, how's your relationship coming off of your last round?
Well, it wasn't great on Sunday, but we played 9 holes this morning, and it was much better.
Okay,
still a little wayward off the tee.
Get it in while you can, big dog, before that baby comes.
I know.
Because then all of a sudden those golf days for you, they're going to be gone.
Yeah, I'm afraid that is coming very soon.
You'll be all right. I was working with Dylan Tyre last night, and he asked me, because he golfs every Tuesday and Wednesday, and then gets a game on like Friday or Saturday or Sunday, and he's getting married in a couple of weeks. He's like, how many rounds do you play a year? I said, well, when our son was first born, I played 4 that year, and then last year I had 8. Actually, this year I'm up to double digits already. I've got 10, so I'm just like blown by what I had done in the last couple of years combined.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's why I'm just pretty much making the circuit at golf outings.
Yeah, it's a good circuit to be on, though.
It is. And you know what? I don't even wish I played more.
You're at
might be a hot take, but we're at a good place, Golf and I.
Mm-hmm.
We respect each other's distance. I give it space when it needs it. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to get too mad at it.
It gives you space when you need it.
And it doesn't. And so when I lower my expectation for it maybe gives me a little bit more grace when I'm on course.
Yeah.
Treats me a little bit better.
Nice.
So we both feel good about each other. It's when we're around each other too much that things start to really clash. And I just don't like to, I don't want to put myself in that situation.
Yeah, I think it's a good place to be in mentally.
Yeah, so I feel okay.
I was reading this list today from USA Today, ranking the Big Ten football stadiums from toughest to least tough. You want to take a guess at who the number 1 toughest stadium in the Big Ten is, Dane?
What's tough mean is my question.
So what it wrote here, I don't know how they actually wrote the metric of tough.
Like there's a tough stadium because like that grass has rocks in it. Or that is a...
What about the Northwestern grass that they grow up to like 3.5 inches?
Tough.
Yeah, slow, right?
Tough.
Yeah.
Tough stadium. That's a tough mutter stadium. Have to imagine that's low on your
I don't know if they were... I don't think Northwestern, considering now that they have their like erector set field, I don't know where that ranks on the list. I don't know if you're going by decibels, if you're going by capacity, or if you're just going by record.
I actually know the answer, but I was a little surprised by number 1.
I was too. So Ohio Stadium comes in at number 1 on this list by USA Today. Here's what was written. Trips to the Horseshoe are basically a guaranteed loss for teams in and out of the Big Ten, unless you're Michigan over the last couple of seasons. Since the stadium opened in 1922, Ohio State has been dominant at home, including a remarkable 55-3 record since 2016. So that's 8 years now going on of records over at the Horseshoe. That is a 95% win rate at Ohio Stadium. You had Oregon a couple of years ago at home, and then 2 in a row to Michigan at home, and like that's it since 2016. That's very hard to fathom. Then 2015, you could rattle it off. All right, Michigan State clipped you late in the year, and then before that, 2014, you didn't have any. Well, yeah, you did. You lost to Virginia Tech, but they're few and far between losses over at Ohio Stadium. Number 1 toughest place to play in the Big Ten.
Yeah, I'm going to trust that there were some smart folks doing the metrics on that, so I buy it. I think you had some really good teams also since 2016.
Yeah.
So you're already probably favored in most of those games.
I
and
would
it's
say
probably not just because you're at home.
You're probably favored in all of your home games, right?
Yeah. So, it'd be interesting because I would think there's probably teams that punch above their weight at home, like mid-tier Big Ten teams. Like I would have said, I wouldn't have been shocked if, Penn State was on that list as a tough place to play. Even Wisconsin, now they wouldn't have scored well in like the record metric. But
like Iowa, like going to Kinnick Stadium, right?
There's some that are tough, but I guess I've... Going into Ohio Stadium has always been a home game for me. So
you've never had the shoe on the other foot.
Yeah, so if it was an away game, I might feel differently about maybe this is a really tough place to play because it does feel like it's on top of you.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to other stadiums in the Big Ten, and I think I haven't been to Oregon, but of the old regime of Big Ten, I think I've been to almost all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And where Ohio Stadium might not be the loudest, it certainly feels the most vertical. Ohio State and Penn State feel the most daunting when you're on field level.
Michigan goes out. They kind of go out.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that it's big, but yes, it feels out, and it doesn't feel like suffocating. Ohio Stadium and Penn State both feel like at a certain point, like these people are just sitting on each other's shoulders. Like they're straight up in the air.
Like a gladiator at the Coliseum, right?
So, yeah, I would buy that. I maybe I was just surprised because I'm so used to it that I don't see it as being like a daunting place to
play. That's your home. That's why you helped the record and get it to being the number one toughest place to play in the Big Ten.
That's right. That's right.
By the way, Ryan Field over at Northwestern ranked 18th. So they weren't even close to being a tough environment.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, is that like the actual field or the one they played by the river or by the lake with makeshift stands?
I would love to go so Ohio State has a couple of off weekends. I would love to go to that stadium just to experience what that's like.
I know, we said the same thing.
It's so unique.
We actually looked at what the schedule was to see if it made sense at some point to make a trip over there. We've got friends in Chicago, but that would just be... So Chicago already has a cool vibe just because, like, especially early in the year, it's like you have almost like a beach area with a big city behind it. It's one of the most unique summer cities probably in the nation.
You could lay on a slab of concrete and then just jump into one of the Great Lakes.
There's some sand over there. There's some sand by the big ship on the end of whatever that is.
Navy Pier?
No, not that one. It's shaped like a ship, but it's actually like a beachfront public beach area.
I don't know.
Somebody knows. But yeah, we also did look into like, hey, this is so silly that I kind of want to see this field in person.
I do.
But nothing made sense.
Let's take the show on the road. Ohio State bye week. You, me, the families will just go to a Northwestern road game. Doesn't even matter. That sounds pretty good. The Nico Iamaleava Tennessee situation may not even have been about the Benjamins. We'll do that in the College Football Pulse next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Buckeye games have been airing on WBNS since before you were born and before your parents were born and before Abraham Lincoln was born. Trust me. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Skyline is introducing a new chicken chili. Come get that world-famous Skyline flavor you love with a new protein option. Try the new Skyline chicken chili on Waze, Coney's, and all your Skyline favorites. At Columbus Skyline locations only while supplies last.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Now open. Zumbizi Bay's brand new conservation tower. 3 slides, 1 tower, and endless thrills. Only at
Zumbizi Bay.
Plan your visit at zumbizibay.com.
Things are popping at Al's Delicious Popcorn. With over 80 flavors to choose from, we have something for everyone. From classics like caramel cashew, white cheddar, and our famous vanilla butternut to new flavors like chicken and waffles and spicy barbecue. They are all made fresh and they are all delicious. Visit us online at alspopcorn.com or come see us and experience the best service in town at 1500 Bethel Road in Columbus. Al's Delicious Popcorn.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, 2-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance is prepared for what's next and protects what matters most to you. With independent insurance agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova Insurance is an easy win for your peace of mind. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call The Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Experience Buckeye game day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good evening. I'm Jacob Reimer. Big Ten Media Days are underway out in Las Vegas. Wide receiver Jeremiah Smith, safety Caleb Downs, and linebacker Sonny Styles are all representing the Buckeyes, and they each received preseason Big Ten honors for the Buckeyes as well. In baseball tonight, the Cincinnati Reds tried to snap their two-game losing streak against the Washington Nationals in the nation's capital. Chase Burns got the start for the Redlegs. They are currently scoreless in the second inning. You can hear the Reds and Nationals here on the Fan at 8 o'clock. The Guardians go for their third win in a row tonight against the Baltimore Orioles. They lead 1-0 in the second inning thanks to a home run off the bat of Jose Ramirez. And the Washington Commanders receiver Terry McLaurin reportedly was not at Commanders training camp today. McLaurin is seeking a new contract extension with Washington, and with the deal still not done, his holdout continues with no appearance for the start of training camp. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's time for the College Football Pulse on the Buckeye Show.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Hour 2 for us here on a Tuesday. Dane Sanzenbacher in with us. Ryan Time, nice job on the live update there.
Thank you.
How's it feel to be doing live updates again? I know that you were all over the place. We had missed you very much over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. And with the Open last week, it was madness. I was scratching out updates as I'm sitting in here getting ready to do them, because leaderboards were updating and I want to get out the right information at the right time. Like Matt Fitzpatrick gets a birdie and separates himself from a three-way tie. Well, got to quickly change that up and figure out where everybody else is at now.
You're made of something different, Reimer. That's why.
Hey, that's what people say.
In this day and age, when it's like, well, you got to pay me to do that. No, Rhyme does it for the love of the game.
He does. That's all he does.
Exactly.
Yep. He's like, I'm doing it live. Anybody ask me to? Nope. Do I have to? Nope. Can record it? Am I going to do it? Yep.
We're all about the grind over
You're not
here.
going to question my attitude and
my
effort.
man to the grinder.
No way, pal.
Gruden's grinder.
Yeah, by the way, you can always watch the show on YouTube. Even if you're at home, you can watch it on TV. And Jason said Dane was a killer at Ohio State, but always remember Gruden's quarterback film room, since you were mentioning that, with Terrell Pryor and Gruden and Sanzenbacher throughout the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made my name more recognizable. I'll say that. It did not help me
pretty recognizable to us here.
Well, yeah, here. At least made it ring a bell for some people. It didn't help me get drafted, but it was a shocking thing when I watched it live while eating cereal at my apartment watching SportsCenter. Wait, why is this segment about me?
This guy's talking about me?
Yeah. He ran it back in in an Instagram post recently.
Did he?
Yeah, Gruden. They sent him a national championship box.
I did. You know what? Now that you mention it, I saw it.
Yeah, and he listed a bunch of greats and randomly threw me in there, and it was amazing.
We're gonna have to cut that, Reimer.
Yeah.
Either at some point tonight or maybe tomorrow. Just John Gruden listing off when he's unboxing his Ohio State stuff.
He did. He was just he's just rattling off all these. He's like, you think I don't know Ohio State? He's going through
dudes.
He's like Art Schleister. That's why I wore 10. Randy Gradishar. He's going through Heisman Trophy winners. He just sneaks me in there.
Were you at your house eating cereal when you were watching that too?
No,
Harkening back to the Gruden grinders.
Somebody texted to me, and I was like, "Gosh, man, he's got me punching above my weight." I love it though. Every once in a while, 10 years, even more. He hasn't forgot about me. I appreciate that. Never met him.
Maybe he'll come on the show sometime.
Maybe.
Reimer, what do you got for us tonight, buddy?
Sorry, I was just trying to look for
I don't know if there's any. Is there any F-bombs in there? He usually keeps it pretty clean, doesn't he?
Yeah, there's no F.
I'll take a listen.
Okay, take a listen.
Before I
Then,
hear it.
yeah, then we'll get to it.
So Kirk Herbstreit threw his hat into the ring on the Nico saga with Tennessee. He went on the Try That in a Small Town podcast and gave some added information that we may haven't heard before. Here's Herbie's take on the situation.
I don't know the true story. I've heard different stories. Some people thought it was about money. I've heard from close sources it was more about Nico's dad going to Josh back in December before they played Ohio State, like, hey, listen, you got to get better at offensive line and better at receiver. You got to get better around him if you want us to stick around, which blows my mind that a college quarterback's dad would do that to a head coach. And I think at the end of the day, when they got into spring ball, it was still more of you haven't brought people in to make him and this offense better. Again, I don't know if that's true, but that's what I was hearing. So I don't think it was necessarily about the money. I think it was more about, is Nico going to be able to play well enough to eventually be a first pick in the draft with the players that they had around him? That's disgusting to me if that's true.
So there's a couple of lines of thought here with this, and Dane, you can stop me wherever you want to. One, if that is the case, which I don't know if that's the case, and it sounds like Kirk Herbstreit, he's got pretty close sources. He's obviously very tied in around the college football world. That may well be the case down in Knoxville. The weird thing that I have, other than I'll get into a parent with a coach relationship in college, which I think is very strange that you are ordering demands or else we're going to leave. But the kicker in this whole situation, whether it was about dollars or whether it was about making the roster better for Tennessee and making it more competitive, the weird part in this is that you're saying this like you need to protect him better. We need better wideouts. We want to be more competitive. We want to turn him into a number one pick, right? But then you go to UCLA. So I don't know how that makes sense. And I know he's an LA kid. He's from California. Like he's close to home. But that inherently doesn't make sense to me when you were in the college football playoff last year. You were one of the best teams in the SEC. You did get throttled here, but that's okay. He showed a lot of heart and a lot of fight. I think there were a lot of players on Tennessee who quit that game. Nico didn't. I mean, he stood in there for the entire thing. And you get to the offseason and you get to the final day of spring ball, and then you pull the plug and say, we're going to UCLA. Those two things just don't marry to me that say we need a better team, but then we're going to go to Los Angeles and play for UCLA. UCLA and Tennessee are not on the same playing field right now.
That's a questionable one if that's your goal.
Yeah.
It might be a zag. I find almost nothing wrong with doing that. And I don't really, so the only part of it, and you mentioned parents, I could see that being weird because that's odd.
It's just strange to me,
if you
like,
sub dad for agent.
Yeah, okay.
What he's doing there is nothing different than what happened to every NFL team if you had a starting quarterback that was a free agent next year. Every one of them have that conversation. So when in a world where we spend months on end and all the conversation is how do we make this sport more professionalized? How do we make it more of a fair playoff system? How do we make sure that we ensure that the players, like we're retaining these guys and all of that? I don't know how you could be surprised by a parent acting as an agent and wanting his son to be a first-round draft pick and then demanding that the organization, quote unquote, we'll just call that what the university is, but the organization do something to help him out. It's not at all odd in the NFL. So I don't see, I'm actually surprised. I hadn't heard that clip. I'm surprised there's any uproar about it. I don't know what would be the issue there.
Yeah, the weird thing to me, and again, until you made that point in the break when we were talking about this, it had never crossed my mind as dad acting as an agent. I don't know Nico's agent. I don't know if dad is the agent or if he has another agent or if the dad was just more tied into Josh Heupel in that program. It's always weird to me, Dane, when they would be like, you know, a parent going to an NFL head coach. Take your whatever head coach, Sean McVay. We got a Rams highlights on the NFL Network right now. Like if a parent of a quarterback of not Matt Stafford, because obviously he's a grizzled veteran in the NFL and he's won a Super Bowl before, but you draft a young quarterback and then quarterback's parents come in and say, hey, listen, if you don't help out my son, then we're going to look somewhere else. As where coming from an agent, I think you have an entire different mindset when you hear the word agent. I'm looking what's best for my client. And obviously, as a parent, you're looking out for what's best for your children no matter what, whether that's in football or what's in life. And so until you had said that, it didn't cross my mind. But then you did say it, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess that does make sense. Because all the time I thought it was about, oh, he wants more money, $4 million. He's actually losing out on money from going to UCLA. But if they think it's a better situation at UCLA than it was at Tennessee, then that's in their rights, and they obviously did that. But yeah, until you said the word agent, I wasn't able to differentiate that in my mind of a parent going to a coach or an agent going to a coach and how it would be the same exact goals that they have.
This almost sounds like somewhat of a LeVar Ball situation, like trying to force his kids into something, or like trying to get them into the right situation where if he were to stay at Tennessee, get him in the right situation where he's got the right offensive line around him, good weapons around him so that he can get to the next level. And that, I mean, to me, it's sounding a lot like that with LeVar trying to push Lonzo to LA, which ended up happening.
I think that's fair.
But why wouldn't you want your son, if your goal for your son was to be a first-round draft pick and you think he could do that? I don't know that this is the case at all.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do this, okay? So this is not, but like, even if it's okay, dad or agent, that's the whole reason you're there, is to maximize the talent and profitability of the kid. And maybe that's a cynical view, but I don't understand how you, especially being as close to football as some of these guys are in Herb Street, that you watch the landscape and think it's anything other than what it appears to be. Like, yeah, if he's a free agent, he's one of the best quarterbacks, well sought after. Yep. If he's going to go somewhere, you want to make sure, okay, he's getting paid his worth and has a chance to win to potentially be an NFL draft pick. I don't know what the other, that seems like, is it just that that's like not how things used to work? That's shocking. Like, why? I don't know what is. I truly, I'm not even trying to be coy. I don't know what Herb Street it would be offended by, that a parent would do that, or that a kid would take his own interests and put them number one.
Let me go across your bow real quick. In just saying that, like Josh Heupel, I think obviously wants to win a national championship at Tennessee, right? Wants to win an SEC championship, wants to be able to restore glory to the Block T that they have down there in Knoxville. And so I'm just thinking out loud here on the fly, like, I think Josh Heupel works probably 365 days a year. You know, he's always grinding on the recruiting trail. They're going over strategies, like, and you know, recruiting's crazy right now. I feel like Josh Heupel will be doing the best to put his entire team in the best situation as possible, let alone the star quarterback that they have. And they obviously had differences, and then he just walked out, and he's leaving. So I think that an agent or a parent or whatever going to a coach who has been there for years, and we've seen some success with him down there, would think that they would know better about what's in their organization because they're living it, they're breathing it every single day, than someone from the outside looking in with their son in the program.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I watched all of one Tennessee game last year. Yeah. So
which one was it?
So whether like they're doing what they need to be doing, or I agree on that part of it's a good decision, I don't know.
I don't either.
But I respect his right to do that, given how much and now granted, Nico didn't make the rules this way.
No, he didn't.
All of the rules that the adults in the room have made, the Patitis and all the guys that are making them, have faced everything to point to people being about themselves.
Oh, no. The consequences of my own actions.
Everything has focused. It's going to get harder and harder to build teams on anything more than how we assemble a roster in a very professional, paid way. If that's what you want, here's part of that game. Mm-hmm. So maybe it's a piece of like, well, he should have been more loyal. Loyalty doesn't really exist in the NFL. So if you're trying to create an NFL, forget about doing something for the love of the Block T, because Heupel's going to be shopping around to the next job that he can get to. It just is what it is.
You know better than most people that there's no loyalty in the NFL. We can say it. Guys who spend their entire career at one place, but there are conversations being had each and every year and every day. Like, let's get my guy out of here. Let's go somewhere else, either for more money or a better situation. Those happen all the time. Trey Hendrickson today, right? Oh, okay, you're not going to pay me. I'm not going to show up.
Well, it's right, and that's common knowledge.
Terry McLaurin, too.
Of course.
But why would, to counter back to your point, why would a quarterback want to get out of an organization when wouldn't he think the GM and coaches want to have the best team that they can too?
Yeah.
What would be, obviously everybody's goal is to win. Why would he want out? But yet they do every year. They think they have a better situation. I just see it as no different, especially given the landscape and what you're allowed to do and the amount you can make. I don't know. It's sad. I don't like it, but I'm far from shocked by it.
Yeah, it's college football nowadays, right? Jeremiah Smith did just about everything he could possibly want a player to accomplish in his first season with the Buckeyes. What are his next steps? You're going to hear from Ryan Day on that front coming up next. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain, and at Toyota West, we're having our biggest pre-owned sales event of the year. With over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're searching for. And during our Go Forth sales event, every pre-owned vehicle is discounted and comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty. At Toyota West, you don't have to choose between a great experience and a great price. We deliver both. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
Where more than 1,700 scientists are working on new treatments and new hope for every form of cancer.
You're making the choice to have the most advanced treatments, many of which were developed right here.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium, presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
AgPro has been family owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, community banking is the lifeblood of the American financial system, building strong, lasting relationships. We're just better able to help guide you down life's road. Flexibility is paramount to success. Community banking is alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb. Come on over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Get enough of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. And no matter what tasty choice you make, our low prices add up to big savings. Plus, you get over $600 in digital coupons each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump and points. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Experience the ultimate gridiron experience at the Ohio State Football Training Camp, presented by Safe Flight, Bob's Discount Furniture, and Weber, happening at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center July 31st through August 2nd. Don't miss your chance to get the first look at your Ohio State football team. Bring your friends and family and dive into the excitement with inflatables, giveaways, and more. Tickets are limited, so get yours today to ensure you don't miss out on the fun. Visit universe.com/OSU Training Camp 2025 to purchase your tickets today.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A perfect finish on this Tuesday with temperatures around 80 degrees, down to around 60 Wednesday morning with light winds and clear skies. Back to near 90 Wednesday afternoon with plenty of sunshine, and the heat and humidity build on Thursday with highs in the mid-90s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Someone out there probably thinks we spend too much time talking about the Buckeyes. Please tell someone that they're stupid. You're listening to The Buckeye Show.
We are on The Buckeye Show, brought to you by our great friends over at Coors Light. When those mountains are blue, you know those suckers are as cold as the Rockies. Coming up here, 7:30, Joshua Perry. He's going to join the program, talk all things Big Ten Media Days going on. Ryan Day, he was at the podium, the big podium. I was watching this live. It was me and Willie hanging out. He was eating a little bar for a snack. I said, that's the coach of the Buckeyes. He said, that's Coach Logan. I said, that's not Coach Logan. Coach Logan is your little gym teacher. That's not your coach. So this is Coach Ryan Day. He's coach of the Buckeyes.
That is too funny. I had to do that with my son because Coach Tressel called me. This was I don't know, month or so back, but I was talking to him and it was just me and Calvin, my son.
Yeah.
And so he was sitting there. I had him on speaker and he's 2. So right there with yours.
Same thing.
And that's exactly how I had to explain it. I was like, this was Daddy's coach. You know how you had Coach Z, who's his rec center coach that teaches sports class?
Same thing as Coach Logan with us.
Yeah. You know, he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, yeah, that was Coach Tressel was like my Coach Z. That's very funny.
It is the same thing. And we're watching that together. He's like, that's Coach Day. And I'm like, it is Coach Day. He goes, it's my coach. I said, well, he can be your coach. You know, we love that. As he's holding his Brutus doll, which I got swindled out of $25 over at the men's basketball game because he walked in and said,
worth it.
Yeah. Oh, it's great. I loved it. He loves that thing and Buzz Lightyear. But Ryan Day took to the big podium over in Vegas, Big Ten Media Days. And I mean, Dane, we've spent the entire offseason talking about Jeremiah Smith and what to expect from him in year number 2. And, I mean, you have a season like that. It's obviously hard to replicate. But here was Ryan Day. What's next for him? How does he take the next steps of what has already been a terrific first year here with the Buckeyes?
I mean, if you look at him, you've seen him, Bill, where, you know, he's gotten bigger and stronger and faster than he was last year. He was at workouts the other day, and Mick constantly says during our warm-ups, he's the first guy every time we run through and we're warming up, the first guy every single time. He just set such a standard, and you don't need to motivate Jeremiah. And what he did as a freshman speaks for itself. And like you said, he may not be, an older guy. He may not be really vocal in terms of his leadership, but what he does on the field speaks for itself. And the work ethic he's brought into this year has been exceptional.
I didn't even know what to make of Jeremiah Smith this year. You saw what you saw last year. You've heard it. You've seen it in the offseason. You've read about it. I mean, he's obviously from another galaxy. He's a freak. He works the hardest of anyone on the team. He's out there representing Ohio State this week at Big Ten Media Days as one of the 3 players alongside Sonny Styles and Caleb Downs. The hype train has obviously left the station for him. It left like in spring ball last year when he got his black stripe removed. We saw one of the best seasons for an Ohio State receiver, and that's only in year 1, Dane.
I don't know what you do next. We talked about it in our pregame show last season. Like, we got halfway through the season. We're like, okay, let's just drop the freshman thing. Mm-hmm. Let's hold him to normal expectations because he's even exceeding those if he was a senior.
Yeah, he is.
But we kept on going back to, and he's a freshman. So we just like abandoned that at some point. We're like, okay, we're just going to see you as a normal player, and still had that kind of performance. I mean, I think the big question with him particularly is we got a different quarterback this year and how that works. Those are the questions. He's just waiting his turn to be a top NFL draft pick, and Ohio State fans ought to just enjoy it while we got it. Yeah. I don't know what this is going to look like. I'm sure I wouldn't even call it a sophomore slump, but I don't know if you can produce like that because he certainly had hype.
Yeah.
But he was not the number 1 receiver going into the year. we weren't looking at him like, oh, he is like, oh, they're going to scheme towards him. There was probably half the season when everybody was just playing him straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have to imagine going into this year, you're going to get leaned on a little bit.
Oh, he's going to get bracketed. He's going to get doubled. He's going to get tripled.
Which he'll still find a way to make plays. I mean, the same thing that happened with Marvin when he was getting into his junior. Did he leave he was
junior. He was a junior. 3-year guy.
His last year, when it's like he still made a ton of plays, opened it up for other people, but defense were like catching him. Like, okay, well, we're not going to let just you beat us. He still did sometimes. But I think there's going to be a little bit more of that, but it doesn't take away from. I don't look at him as stats right now. I mean, I don't really care what his stats are his sophomore year.
Mm-hmm.
What, him healthy and capability wise is just such an asset to an offense that, yeah, we've been talking about it all off season. I don't know how he runs it back, but it's certainly an asset you want on your side.
Well, let me ask you this question then, because I obviously played wide receiver here at Ohio State, but when you have a season the way that he had the season and the impact that he had on this team last year, and now we're working in a new quarterback, and whether that's Lincoln Keenholz or whether that's going to be Julian Sand, and we'll find out coming up next Thursday when it's the start of camp, and then we'll get into actual quarterback battle. And I was listening to Ryan Day today. He's like, yep, everything we can do, we're going to do competition at quarterback. When you have a guy like Jeremiah Smith, which is capable of making any play, any ball that you throw towards him in a 20-foot radius, that he's likely going to attempt to go and get it, and that he can. He's better than anyone in college football doing that. When you see a guy bracketed, double, triple teamed, you feel like inherently that opens up the offense for a quarterback who's going to be inexperienced, though, right? I mean, because that's got to leave somebody open.
Yes and no. I mean, it makes things look trickier.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not used to seeing defenses on the fly and they're doing late transitions, they're making things look not structured and pretty like you see them on your cards or like you watch in film, I mean, that's tough. And I think at the end of the day, it's like we talk a lot about Jeremiah Smith because he is that talented, but he is a wide receiver.
Yeah.
And
doesn't have the
like
ball
it or not,
play.
It's not, I mean, it's weird coming from me. It's not that important of a position. It is important, but the guy you got to have, everybody know the guy you got to have.
Yeah.
It's the quarterback. And that's why like this season is going to be so interesting. Yes, Jeremiah Smith is still going to be good this year, but somebody has to throw you the ball. You don't get to touch it. And there's times when you can't have a big impact. You have to spend your time blocking. Like there's a lot of other pieces, quarterback being number one,
mm-hmm.
but like, yeah, like a wide receiver being the star of the team. I don't know that you typically have, like it was a perfect storm last year that there was so much talent and Will did a great job of getting him the ball. That outstanding storyline.
Yeah.
It's hard for a wide receiver to carry a team. Say that. It's hard to have your wide receiver like be the one carrying the team. So that's why I'm excited to see what this looks like, even through camp, because he's a great asset to throw to. But I don't think this season doesn't hinge on him playing well.
You're saying it hinges on the quarterback.
Yeah, I think that is what I'm saying.
I think that's a fair point to make. Joshua,
they usually do.
Yeah, it does. You're right. If you have a quarterback, if you have a good quarterback,
it's the nature of the sport.
You're going to be competitive. If you have a not so good quarterback, you're not going to be competitive, and you're going to lose more games than you win. That's the life of the beast when you play the most important position on the football field. Joshua Perry, he's going to join us, react to everything over in Vegas with Big Ten Media Days coming up here in 2 minutes. It's the Buckeye Show on The Fan.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.49%, APR 6.52% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get 1 juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, 1 original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The future of recycling is now at Rumpke Waste and Recycling. The recycling leader has opened North America's largest, most technologically advanced recycling center right here in Central Ohio. This one-of-a-kind facility features interactive displays, educational opportunities, and the ability to process over 60 tons of recycled material per hour. Rumpke is committed to recycling and sustainability efforts. And for more than 90 years, Rumpke has worked to make sure the items you place in your recycling bin get used again. Visit Rumpke.com to learn how you can team with Rumpke to put less trash in our landfills and more of it to good use.
The Buckeye Show is sponsored by CareSource, proud to be your home for Ohio State Athletics. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
We here at The Fan believe there's no such thing as too much Ohio State coverage. You're locked into the Buckeye Show.
I'm a guy, Dane Sanzenbacher, in tonight. Right now we're heading out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Check with our great friend. He is Joshua Perry. JP, happy Tuesday, buddy. We got a lot of stuff happening over at Big Ten Media Days. What was your biggest takeaway from today? Whether it's Buckeyes, Tony Petitti, conference, what did you take away the most?
It feels different out here would be the first thing. Like I'm used to just hopping in the car, driving a few hours down the road, and you get some media days. We're out here in the desert. I think some of the players look maybe a little bit more tired from some of the travel. They're jet lagged, like many of us in the media are today as well. But it's still a really cool site. It's been a lot of fun. Now, you mentioned most interesting thing. It would be Tony Petitti and his presser, because it's like there's this battle that's going on that didn't really exist a couple months ago between, the SEC and some of the other power conferences in the Big Ten right now in terms of playoff formatting and people trying to understand what might be the best format. And Tony Petitti wants the 4 AQs for the SEC and SEC and Big Ten, ACC and Big 12 would get the 2 AQs, and then you have the at-large spots. And that's to take some of the decision-making power away from the committee when selecting at-larges. The other thing it does, which I think is really interesting, is the conference championship weekend. And folks don't like that because they think a 3 seed might get knocked out by a 6 on the championship weekend. And for me, yes, it could happen. Also, there's the other at-large spots. It doesn't necessarily mean that happens, but it gives us something to root for in a weekend now that's kind of lost its luster with the 12-team format. I mean, last year we're watching Penn State and Oregon battle it out for a Big Ten championship. And to me, the game wasn't interesting because we knew both of those teams were going to be in the playoff. It was just a matter of who was going to get a bye or not. And frankly, Oregon getting the bye last year didn't even help them. So I'm curious to see where this goes. There's a December 1 deadline in terms of changing the format. It seems very contentious right now, but Tony Petitti, the commissioner of the Big Ten, is pretty dug in on his thoughts on the new format.
Joshua, has that kind of been the storyline that is eating up the kind of the whole media day coverage down there, or is there any other kind of under the radar stories that are happening that people aren't talking about as much?
Yeah, I mean, so you have this playoff conversation that's in the forefront. And then the other one that was asked about a ton, and this was asked to both the commissioner and the coaches at their podium. The idea of this rev share world that we live in now and how the game is continuing to shift and change and what that means for programs, how their athletic departments are deciding what to do with their rev share money. Tony Petitti was asked about if he's given any guidance to the member institutions in the Big Ten about where to go with the money. And he said, I leave that up to them. They can decide. And he said a lot of the schools are taking a revenue based approach, which means the teams that bring in the highest revenue get the majority of the revenue share. But he's not there to dictate to schools what to do. There's the Title IX question that's going to be litigated. But again, it's like there are a lot of this is all new and we don't know. The one thing I can tell you is a lot of coaches are happy now that they have this rev share because they don't have to sit there and do the whole booster thing like they were before. You know, they have their fundraising. That's a part of it. But it's not as crazy as the last few years trying to make sure they can get, you know, crazy collective money for the rosters because those deals are going to be much harder to get approved.
He is Joshua Perry with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline live from Vegas out of Big Ten Media Days. Were any other coaches asked, AP? Because I was doing the show last night, and we obviously got the Tony Petitti storyline that he sent a letter to the NCAA when they were meeting about the Michigan allegations and what the punishment was going to be. And I know his answer. It was an answer, non-answer from him. That's, you know, we did send the letter. I'm not going to tell you the contents of that letter. And I think it was Adam King who asked that question today. But were any of the coaches asked about that kind of in their breakout sessions? Because I would think if anyone was adamant about it, it'd be Greg Schiano and good old Bird at Illinois about their answers on that.
So it's funny because I was standing there during Schiano's podium availability, and nobody over there asked about it. Like, I think we are so, like, into this storyline because that is the thing that we hate the most in the world, and we felt like we were done wrong as a fan base, right? And so, like, we want to see this thing through, and we want the punishment to feel just. And I do think the prevailing sentiment for a lot of people is, like, yeah, we want to see them punished, but we're also, like, we're kind of past it. Like, they're not as invested, I think, as a lot of us are. Now, I'll do this for Tony Petitti. Like, he said it's a pretty common thing to send in a letter like that. I think he was telling the truth when he said that. I think if you are the commissioner of a conference, you don't want to hamstring one of your biggest brands for years into the future based off of the NCAA, their punishment, how slowly they're moving. I think as Ohio State fans, we can resonate with that. Like, if we went back in time, I think that people would try to do way more to make sure that Tatgate didn't blow up the way that it did in terms of punishment. But it's like, it's a very weird thing that he sends it in, and then there's a report about it, and now it's kind of like, yeah, I did it, but like, we're not going to say anything about it. Like, I'm not going to talk about that. We're just going to move past that. And I think that's where I'm a little bit like, all right, bro, like, you already sent the letter, and you might as well tell us. Because, frankly, it might not matter. They don't have to consider his letter anyway.
Yeah, so I guess kind of in a similar vein of like, yeah, we care about that because we're probably a little bit blinded by, yeah, this is a very important storyline in Columbus. Maybe not so through the rest of the Big Ten country. You know, on that same front, you get a lot of fans that kind of tune in to football when it's football season, you know, and they want to see the matchups on the field. And you've been to a few of these media days, and it seems like all the air in the room is kind of taken by the structure of everything, the money, and not as much about like what teams are going to be good, who's coming back here, who's the best this. Is it different this year even from last year or years past?
Yeah, I think that sports are a great analog for reality television. I think that they're very similar things, and we have got to the reality TV stage of college football where it's like it's not just what happens on Saturdays; it's every other storyline. Yeah. And because Saturdays are still very much the same, right? Like, we feel as passionate on Saturdays as we did before. The stadiums are still full. People are tuning in and watching. And, like, we don't feel like the game has been, I don't know, it's dirty now because of everything that's going on off the field. I think everybody's kind of, like, filled in their assumptions. And they'll ask some questions to the coaches about how's your team, new quarterback, impact transfer, whatever the case is. But I do think the thing that is intriguing because it's constantly changing and it feels the most different is all the stuff that's happening around college football off the field. And so I do think the storylines have been dominated by that. And we'll get to Saturdays and people will write their stories about the games and we'll certainly enjoy them. And then, Sunday through Friday, we're going to talk about, who got a big deal here and what the College Sports Commission is saying about something, which is insane to even think about. And that's kind of where we're at with the sport. Yeah,
it's a really good point because I think Ryan Day, during his presser at the podium, JP, was like, 5 years ago I was up here and said, you won't recognize college football. And on that point, off the field, you really can't. Like, it's much different than what it was 5 years ago. And then he quickly backed that up by saying, but the on-field product is as good as it's ever been, and these guys are coming in more ready than ever. So I think, to your point...
Isn't that the most important thing, too, though?
Is.
Like, if you're really thinking about it, because everybody, when all these changes were happening, they're like, the sport's going to hell in a handbasket. I'm never watching college football again because these kids are getting paid.
See you next Saturday,
like,
pal.
All these reactionary... Yeah. No, and seriously, like, everybody's still showing up because Saturdays are so good. The drama's so good. The performances are so good. And these teams are so much fun to follow.
Yeah, it's a great point. And I think Ryan Day mentioned that, and you did a good job illustrating that. Did you get a chance to check in with the Buckeyes today, JP?
I got a chance to talk to Caleb Downs today in a sit-down interview. Remarkable kid, right? Like, I feel like I would have just been a regular dude if I was at Ohio State right now. Like, all these kids do really well in front of the camera. They're all super smart, and they're way better athletes than I ever was. But he was great to talk to. Our producer threw in, of course, the Michigan question. You know, what is it more important than winning a title this year since you already won the title? And Caleb's basically like, we haven't even started fall camp yet. Like, we have to win camp. Like, we have to win week 1, and then we'll talk about it as we get closer. But like, he's like, we have to win camp. And I thought it was a great answer because they got to win camp, and then they got to go win in week 1 and keep doing it the rest of the year.
I asked Dane the same question right at the beginning of the show. We are 9 days away from camp starting. I want you to go back to a young Joshua Perry with that number being the number with about a week and change left before camp's underway. What's your mindset going into camp right now, Joshua?
How young was the Joshua Perry? Because, like, 18-year-old Joshua Perry would have wet his pants by now.
Let's go 19-year-old Joshua Perry then.
He's a little less wet, but still wet in the pants there. By the time Joshua Perry was 20 years old, things were good. You know, and like, that's kind of the natural progression of a college football player, unless you're Jeremiah Smith. You're just like, you come in and you're an alien. But those guys are like super apprehensive and nervous as they start in their career. And then you go through camp a couple times and it's like, dude, it's a long day, it's hard, it's hot, but we're playing, right? And like, all of us wanted to be here to play ball. And so you get really comfortable in the routine of things. So it all depends on the part of the journey. Young JP, sweating bullets. Veteran Joshua Perry is like really excited to get back at it.
It's because you're a ball player, Joshua. He asked me, and I was like, no, it's dread camp. Camp's terrible. And I said, there are some people who just love football, and there you go. Joshua Perry, one of those.
Listen, I hate it, you know, a lot of times too, but like, you know, once you've done it a few times, you just know, like, let's get to the ball. That's what we want to do. We want to get on the field.
There's some tricks to it too. As you get older, you kind of learn how to shave off the worst parts of camp and make it tolerable.
Yeah, we got to a point too where our coaches, you know, by the end started to trust us, and Urban was really concerned about rep counts and making sure guys were fresh for the season. So, like, he took care of us at times during camp. I know back in the days, like, that wasn't even a thought. I'm thinking about the guys who used to do 3 a days, and I'm like, they're insane for even doing that.
It's just straight punishment. It makes no sense.
You're not getting better at a certain point, right? Like, it's just, you're just running your bodies against a wall.
But those guys weren't good football. I'm not saying all of them, but like think about what football looked like back then. Like, they needed 3 a days. Like, there was a reason for the 3 a day. Like, you just had to be just like a big, strong dude who was willing to be like stinky and sweaty and move people around. And now it's like, okay, we got to make sure we're fast, and we got to have some finesse, and we got to like really work on the body. So it's a different sport.
We're just gonna practice enough until you guys are good.
Well, you think in the day though, they weren't doing nothing until then. It was like camp was to get in shape. Like the guys in the offseason weren't doing anything, so that's why you needed the 2-3 a days to get in shape. At this point, you probably don't need it.
Yeah, they were smoking cigarettes and drinking beers on construction sites.
Those were the good old days.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Hey, I'm walking around the casino right here, and you got the blue hairs down there tapping away on the slot machine, cigarette hanging out their mouth. It's like a throwback.
It's like that the video that went viral on Twitter, JP, of just like 100 people just tapping the signs. That's what you're looking at. What's your table game of choice? What are you playing tonight?
This is not my thing. I'm not a gambler. I like keeping the money in my pocket. But there will be some beverages to be consumed this evening, so I'm excited about that.
Always appreciate the time, buddy. Have a fantastic rest of the week out in Vegas, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
There he goes, our guy, Joshua Perry, on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. # Buckeyes coming at you next. It's the Buckeye Show on the Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
Nationwide Picnic with the Pops presents the pride of the Buckeyes, the Ohio State University Marching Band. Don your scarlet and gray and join the Columbus Symphony Orchestra for a night of fight songs, battle cries, fireworks, and more. July 25th and 26th at the Columbus Commons. Visit picnicwiththepops.com.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
Do your good-looking shoes hurt and you don't want to wear ugly shoes? At the Good Feet store, we can help you wear your heels, boots, and dress shoes again in comfort. Trade in your bad feet for good feet at the Good Feet store.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Experience Buckeye Game Day like never before. Welcome to the 1922 Club, the most exclusive space inside Ohio Stadium, where luxury meets tradition in the heart of Buckeye Nation. Enjoy upscale food and beverages and a game day atmosphere like no other. Create lasting memories with friends and mingling with other Buckeye fans, and celebrate every OHIO in ultimate comfort. Become a member of the 1922 Club today. Memberships are limited. Visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com.
There's one medical team in Central Ohio skilled enough to care for your favorite Ohio State team, and Buckeyes everywhere. The Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center is your choice for the most highly specialized orthopedic and sports medicine care. Our surgeons, physicians, and physical therapists have access to the most advanced treatments and innovative recovery approaches to get you back in your game. Because on or off the field, our team is your team. The choice for your orthopedic care is clear.
As America's largest custom home builder, Schumacher Homes believes a top-quality home should be affordable for everyone in the Buckeye State. We work with the leading architects to bring you the latest in design, and then you have the ability to make changes. Not just selecting finishes, but moving walls, adding rooms, literally customizing anything from the ground up. It's a misconception that custom homes have to be expensive. We work within your budget to build an amazing home on your land. Visit SchumacherHomes.com or any of our 9 Ohio locations.
Attack and dominate. Morning Juice is on YouTube and 10 TV Plus.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Join Bobby Carpenter and Tito weekdays starting at 6 or watch on demand. More Bobby, less commercials. The Fan.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My toilet's clogged, backed up too. The sink is running slow. Water's backed up everywhere. Oh, please don't overflow.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2025 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to sponsor The Fan and 10 TV's Beat the Heat fan drive, benefiting Life Care Alliance. You can help Ohio's most vulnerable residents deal with the extreme heat this summer. How can you help? Purchase new box fans and bring them to the nearest Franklin County Fire Station, or you can buy online and ship fans directly to Life Care Alliance. The collection and distribution of fans is to assist residents who are at risk of heat stroke or heat exhaustion. For more information, go to lifecarealliance.org.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Social media can be a cesspool. Allow us to navigate the waters. #Buckeyes.
sponsored by the Waterworks. Call the plumbing, heating, and cooling technicians at the Waterworks and header today. Call 614-232-2222. Proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Wrapping up things here on a Tuesday. My guy Dane Sanzenbacher gets to our nation's capital. The Reds at the Nats. Currently 1-1. Bottom of the 5th inning. Hopefully it stays that way. Good news for the Reds. They didn't give up a touchdown right out of the gates, though, like they did last night.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they were down 7-0. They scored 8 runs. They still lost the game.
Do you have their record pulled up? Where
the
are they
Reds,
at?
52-49.
Okay.
Yeah. They're right in the thick of it. They're all good.
Chipping away.
Yeah. I mean, they're 8.5 back of the Central right now, but you're okay. You're in a spot where you're not sellers at the deadline, which is always a good place to be.
Yep.
Should be solid. So we had a great YouTube comment. Again, you can watch the show on YouTube. Either you're at home or if you're at work at this time of day, you can listen to the podcast as well. And Jason said on the YouTube chat, Dane is a killer at Ohio State. I'll always remember Gruden's quarterback film room with Pryor and Gruden's with him saying Dane Sanzenbacher. And that's emblazoned in my mind as well. And you were recanting the tell. You were at home in your apartment watching it and like, why is this guy even talking about me? Like, I got a whole segment on national TV. John Gruden did an unboxing. Ohio State, the fabulous people at the football program sent him over a nice box, too. Like, I've watched a lot of these with Gruden. Like, that's got to be one of the best boxes he's got because he had like 4 pairs of shoes in there, a bunch of different jerseys, workout gear. And
it's an Ohio guy. They had to hook him up.
He went to Dayton, went to the University of Dayton for college. John Gruden did. Fun fact. And here was him recalling, not a tale about you, but throwing it to the back machine and
listening his Buckeye greats.
Somehow Dane is on the list.
How would you like to be the receiver coach at Ohio State? I mean, forget about the guys they got coming out this year. Ted Ginn, Joey Galloway, David Boston, Chris Carter. You want me to go on and on, don't you? How about Terry Glenn? How about Brian Baschnagel? How about Mike? How about Dane Sanzenbacher?
What is that? Why do I live there in his brain? I don't know, but I love it. He holds me in such high regard. No, I've never. So the Gruden camp was the first thing that happened. I was like, whoa. He went on this whole spiel about like, oh, this is one of my favorites. And I'm like, wow, thanks, man. So had never met him. Mm-hmm. Then I went to, when I was playing in Cincinnati, my 3rd year in the NFL, Jay Gruden was my offensive coordinator. So I know his brother, but John was never around. He was still calling games. And then he called a couple of our preseason games, and he ran the thing back with the Sanzenbacher thing. Because it was going to sound like a humble brag. I'm just saying, I had a punt return in the game that he was calling.
Nice.
So he was doing his thing. So we like rehashed it, like, oh, Gruden in the name. And I thought it was dead. And then this year, now it's like this running, how long is it? So that was probably in 2010. So 15 years later, somehow I still live in the realm of receivers in his head of Chris Carter, Terry Glenn, Joey Galloway, and me.
What's more wild to you, the fact that you live in his brain or that you live in his brain with those guys?
No, it's in those guys. Yeah. It's like I think obviously the fun that he has saying my name because he's a broadcaster definitely bumps me up. But yeah, every time it happens, I'm like, I'm not even trying to be humble, but John, I'm like, I love that I'm there, but nobody in Columbus has given me this kind of respect.
You're too humble for your own good.
And I mean, I appreciate.
Burm's giving you that kind of respect.
Well, he's a Toledo man. Yeah, there's a different bar in Toledo, and there's multiple bars in Toledo, but there's a different bar to clear in Toledo. So they do, because I'm like a hometown guy. But Gruden doesn't have a tie there. He's just
that's what you think.
He's a fan of a grinder when he sees one.
Maybe he's just scouring the tape for
he'd love
high school Toledo tapes.
He'd love Reimer. If he was in here now,
oh yeah.
If he saw a guy doing live sports updates, he'd be like, get a look at this guy. You think I don't know broadcaster? Look at Reimer. He could record it. He's not gonna record it though. He's gonna do it live.
He wants to make sure that he gets Xander Schauffele in his last putt.
He would love you, man. He just you're his type of guy.
I'm going to record that and send that over to him, see if I can get a cameo from him.
I think you should. I think you should just apply to be like his intern. I think he would love having you around. I mean, you're just a ball-loving guy, Reimer. Now, you may have to talk a little more football. Yep. You love college basketball. So
I'm getting there.
He may have to make you transfer over to the football field. But I think him knowing that you love ball as much as you do, I think you would do a great job with him.
I can bring him into the college basketball world as well.
I don't know about that, buddy.
That's some of my powers here at the station. What I'm trying to do.
John Gruden is a football lifer.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, you're not gonna. That's ambitious.
Like if it was a wagering scale and the odds are which one is going to turn first, John Gruden into a basketball guy or Reimer into a football guy.
It's more of just like real recognizing real there. He's like, okay, ball, you're a basketball guy, but this guy loves ball. And I love that about it.
I do too. Before we get out of here today, our fan poll at 971thefan.com or on X at 971thefan. Do you believe that Trey Hendrickson, Shamar Stewart, both or neither, will be playing for the Bengals in their Week 1 matchup against the Browns? Hendrickson only, Shamar Stewart, both or neither. I don't know. The Shamar Stewart situation, obviously Mike Brown was talking a little bit about it yesterday, of some clause in the contract, whether he does something bad or gets arrested, that's what they're fighting over, and Mike Brown doesn't want to pay that, and Shamar Stewart and his agent want that clause in there that if he does something wrong that he wants to get paid for. Trey Hendrickson, on the other hand, I don't know what the heck is going to happen with that. I mean, you know how holdouts are, Dane, and the unspoken rule, because I'm sure that these guys will get asked at Bengals camp, whether that's Joe Burrow or anybody on the defense, like, hey, what's the deal with him? You don't talk about anybody's money. It's an unwritten rule. Like, you just leave that alone, and hopefully it works out for them, but it's a sticky situation on both fronts.
Yeah, if I had to pick, I would say Hendrickson, yes. Stewart, maybe not. Yeah, he's kind of caught up, from what I understand, in something that's just bigger than him. It's like there is a clause that is sneaking its way into contracts of players.
And his agent caught it.
Yes, that the NFLPA doesn't like. And that I think this is the first player of the new generation or of the young guys, like rookie deals, that the Bengals have tried to make this a standard thing. Mm-hmm. It obviously protects the organizations that if you do something like, get yourself in trouble, do something off the field, that we're not bound to this contract. And obviously the players union, as I understand it, could be completely wrong. Yeah. But as I understand it, they obviously want that in. They want to be able to protect the interest of those guys. So they're saying, do not sign that, because once you sign that, that becomes the norm for rookies coming in. And the Bengals are like, well, we're not going to put ourselves on the hook for if you do something, then we owe you all this. I kind of get both sides, but that seems stickier than a veteran contract getting worked out.
Guaranteed.
So that's why I'm just like, if I had to guess, Hendrickson, I guess. Yeah. It seems like less complicated and less riding on it. And you already know the guy. He probably would prefer to not sell his house.
Right. Although it looks like he was having a good time down in Jacksonville. Dane, I had a great time with you tonight. Hopefully we can work again in the future at some point, all right?
This was fun, Beam. Appreciate it.
It was fun. Everybody have an awesome night. We'll be back tomorrow. Reimer will not be with us. He'll be with John Gruden tomorrow. We'll have Nate Dogg and Tim May with us. Hour-long show tomorrow. Reds baseball is up next on The Fan.
Catch T-Bone and Tyvus weekday mornings from 6 to 9. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll rewind time and erase your brain. For real, The Fan.
Your bathroom's got to go, the vanity's decayed, and toilet's really old. The bathtub's giving way. If that's our us a ring, call morning, noon, or night. You do not have to wait to get your bathroom right.
Call Baths R Us for your free estimate and enter to win our Christmas in July $12,500 bathroom remodel with an additional savings of up to $3,000 plus low to no monthly payments. 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium presented by Experience Columbus. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium tours offer a variety of options and pricing. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour. Ohio Stadium Tours, presented by Experience Columbus.
Things are popping at Al's Delicious Popcorn. With over 80 flavors to choose from, we have something for everyone. From classics like caramel cashew, white cheddar, and our famous vanilla butternut to new flavors like chicken and waffles and spicy barbecue. They are all made fresh and they are all delicious. Visit us online at alspopcorn.com or come see us and experience the best service in town at 1500 Bethel Road in Columbus. Al's Delicious Popcorn.
Soy has been keeping secrets, and it's ready to share. Soybeans are among the most versatile agricultural products. They are used in creative ways you may have never realized to make products we all love and use every day. Ohio is leading the way, developing new uses for soybeans to support our changing world. Soy low-key slays, and I'm here for it. Learn more about soybeans at soysecrets.org. This ad brought to you by Ohio soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Experience the ultimate gridiron experience at the Ohio State Football Training Camp, presented by Safe Flight, Bob's Discount Furniture, and Weber, happening at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center July 31st through August 2nd. Don't miss your chance to get the first look at your Ohio State football team. Bring your friends and family and dive into the excitement with inflatables, giveaways, and more. Tickets are limited, so get yours today to ensure you don't miss out on the fun. Visit universe.com/OSU Training Camp 2020.